and welcome back to the Vintage Unicorn, beauty, makeup, and etc. Today we are going old school, back to a makeup tutorial and a graphic liner tutorial at that. I am absolutely amazed I was able to get this off the ground and actually get it on film. This was a request picture that I posted on Instagram. Someone asked if I could show how I did it. All I did was I switched the colors up a little bit, same technique, same overall. Also, in the very next segment, I will be talking about the Jeffree Star giveaway, which ended today. To all those who entered, thank you so very much, and I will be doing another giveaway soon. I wish I could have given something to everyone. It doesn't work that way, and I love you guys regardless. Please believe me when I say that. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you on this side of the video. Mwah. Hello guys, I'm obviously not in my makeup room right now, I am in my living room, but I wanted to announce that the Jeffree Star giveaway has come to a close, and I have contacted the winners via DM, and it was our agreement that I keep their names private on YouTube, but I did encourage them to share. So to everyone who entered, just thank you so much. I never would have anticipated getting this type of support when I started this YouTube channel. I'm sorry the lighting in here is horrible and everything, but you know what, I promise to keep bringing it. I saw some amazing things with that giveaway, like people wishing each other luck, like good luck everybody else, like, you know, and some really amazing things with this giveaway. It was a very long drawn out giveaway because I figured a lot of people would want to try to get into it. So to the people who won, congratulations. And I realized I don't need more makeup, so if I'm giving me something, I'm giving away something, and that is the bottom line. From here on out, I'm going to be hosting as many giveaways as I can. Thank you guys to everyone. I'm sorry this is so choppy and grainy on my phone, but mwah. One of my all-time favorite makeup tricks that I do is when I do a half moon kind of thing and fill it in with color. So that's kind of what I'm going to go for today. And the way I do that, I start it very simply and very rough. I start from right about here where the two lash lines separate, and I just slowly draw a rounded moon. And I like to do it a little bit, this isn't really rounding, but I like to do it a little bit higher than my natural crease because I know there's going to be a lot of blending and blurring in that. And this has been the foundation of a lot of my favorite looks that I've done on this channel. The Kat Von D X Divine, I did something very similar. One of the Pastel Goth ones, I did something very similar. And it's just a really cool way to open up your eyes. And you don't always need to use gel liner for this, and you definitely don't always need to use wing liner either. So sometimes you can really create a cool kind of color contrast just by adding this little half moon. And also you don't need to cut your crease because this is kind of there as that block, and it really doesn't need to be that perfect. I call them my little horns that are going on, and they're just going to be there while I pack on other colors. So let's do it. So when I do this, I like to think about what colors work next to each other and what colors don't, and therefore what I'm going to need to do to make those colors work next to each other if I want them to be next to each other. And I'm going to be doing kind of a rainbow theme and following the rainbow, which is also the color wheel: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Violet and red are very similar, but green and red are going to kind of clash, and unless you're kind of using something to separate them, like maybe a primer or a prep or a fix, or maybe you're using like water, there is going to be a little bit of muddiness unless you have perfect bone structure like Jeffree Star, I have decided. So going with the basic kind of shade and light theory, I'm just going to grab a 321 brush, and a Morphe 321. Now the most light I want is going to be here on my upper brow bone and in my inner corner. Now the color I'm going to use for that is this Sugar Pill color. This is Buttercup Cake. Yes, it is Buttercup Cake. And using this applicator brush, I'm just going to get it really, really coated and start adding that pigmentation in those areas. These Sugar Pill powders are they are just like so pigmented and in your face. And they're very similar to the formula of the Pastel Goth or any of the Kat Von D, the Mi Vida Loca. I think that's because they're both vegan. These come off just a little bit darker, and I love that. But I do love that pastel too. Another way that you can get these same colors for much, much less is the BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette. 16 bucks, and you have literally every color. Literally every color. So I'm also going to take this yellow and I'm going to put just a little bit right here in the inner corner, and it's not going to show as much there because I do have the dark circles going on. but hopefully I'll get it to pop just a little bit more. I just want to place the colors and then blend them. That is if they're close enough. So next I'm going to be grabbing Flame Point, the other sugar pill color that I mean all of the sugar pill colors I love. I haven't had a lot of time to dig into this. It's definitely not as dug into as this yellow, but I want to take this and start building this into areas that I want just a little bit more warmth. I want to keep this general moon kind of blue and cool, but I love having a little bit of orange near it. So I'm just going to very gently bounce my brush just above it and kind of in it, like kind of, I don't know, integrate the two. And that's again working off that kind of whole shade and light theory, adding a darker version of the yellow, and I'm going to tuck that in very gently. I'm using an applicator brush here because there is literally so little product that anything will blend it. And I just want to kind of place that there, and that'll start blending its way into the orange and yellow combo. I'm sorry, the orange will start blending itself into the yellow, and that's already kind of looking really cool. So just gonna continue buffing that in and amping up the intensity of that orange without throwing off the balance. So before I get into actually putting the graphic liner on, I want to buff something into this color, and I've done this before with blues. This time I think I'm going to do it with a purple and see how it turns out. This is a very vivacious purple. Actually, the reason that I returned the Norvina palette was because I was like, dude, I have purple that is way, way, way more my cup of tea. So I'm just going to really coat this kind of pencil-y brush, and I'm going to start blending it into that gel. Sorry, that ended kind of abruptly. My husband called and I was like, what do I do? Anyway, so all of this is in the end going to be black. I know that. Why do I keep repeating it? So I'm going to coat my lovely little brush, and we're just going to go in. I want to really focus on that shape. So I'm going to start bringing this down, watching the symmetry of my eye. I want the entire oval to fall within that outer corner. It's going to just make my eyes bigger while still allowing for the craziness. So here we go, up, up, and away. I am starting my first angled line, and I'm just basically going to be rebuilding on top of it over and over until I have a basic shape. The cool thing is, because all of this is going to be black, that's why I kept reassuring myself with that, I can kind of make a mess on this side. Alright, so that is there. I just want to match. I want to work slowly, and I want to make sure that both eyes are the same. So this is roughly, if I'm looking straight, a little bit outside of where my iris begins. And we're going. This eye I have tremendous trouble with. I think it's because of this scar that's through here. So I tend to take extra precaution, and I am just going to fill in a shape that is pretty similar to that one, kind of like a winged liner, but a little bit further in. Okay. Let's clean that up. And I'm going for the rounding now. Now, my challenge is I want this to meet up with this right here and also form a lovely circle. So I might take that in ever so slightly, which will be okay. And basically what I want to do is work with the least amount of product possible to set down the color. If I have any extra color, I want to put it somewhere that I know everything is going to be black. Okay, so there is that basic kind of shape. Now it's just going to be about making that a very nice circle. Okay, pulling the mirror up just a little bit more. And actually I like that. When I open my eyes, it looks like a half moon, exactly like it's supposed to. So I am so sorry that I'm not breathing or talking. Just want to make sure these are both super round. So I'm going to match this side, and then we're going to keep going. First thing I want to do now that the black is starting to set is I want to accentuate that purple because it's just beautiful next to that black. So on a smudge brush, this is a Morphe M408, I am just going to pat and really pay attention to that shape and focus on not getting it too close to either of the other colors, because I don't want to do too much blending of them into each other because they'll create this crazy new color that I don't really want. I want the colors to kind of be in their own lane and blend them just enough so that they assimilate, not too much. And that purple is just adding a little bit of an accent to that black, almost making it seem like the black is purple to begin with. And in fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the purple and just kind of pat it only on the outer edge of my little wave, because I want that stark black to be intact when I go in with the blue. All right, now what I am gonna do is just very, very gently blend this into that crease so that any of the mess that I had in the wave tail, particularly on this side, isn't quite there as much. And again, I'm gonna go back in. This is a very time-taking process. I'm gonna go in with my 3-2-1 with that flame point and rebuild that orange yellow gradient that is so pretty up there. Just want it to be a little bit more dramatic, and this is where those little tiny imperfections can kind of fade away and give way to the color. Oh yes, glory, glory, hallelujah. Looks quite nice. Quite crazy, but quite nice, right? I don't know. So I'm gonna take that yellow again and just kind of pop it with that orange ever so slightly so that those two colors are definitely there, and pop, 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 pop. And just kind of pushing them together. There's no real technique there, it's just making them look how you want them to. Now, I love how smoky this whole thing is, but I definitely want it to have a nicer shape. So I'm gonna go back in with that smudge brush again and just kind of clean up a little bit and maybe shear out some of the odd shapes, particularly on this eye where I kind of just want to wipe it, but I know that's not the best thing to do. So what we are going to do next is we are going to do a blue transition. I'm going to use this very light blue color. It is in the color Home Sweet Home. It's such a cute color. I love it. And I really want to pack it in there, so I'm going for my Scone Large Shadow Brush. And this color is going to be all the way on the inside of my eye. This is a fairly easy part of the process as long as I don't get it too close to the orange. And I want to continue just packing that in there and smudging its way up. It will fill in that shape. So there we have it, that beautiful Home Sweet Home blue. It is not a translucent shade, it's just that light of a baby blue that it looks like it is, and I love it. And just buffing it in. So there it is. Now, of course, it's not over yet. We have a few more crazy things to do. Dipping into the Addicted to Pretty Sugar Pill palette, I'm going to be accessing that beautiful dark blue so that it kind of melts in with that dark blue. And I have a clean 3-2-1 here, and I'm just going to tap into it, and this is where the blending begins. Now, I know I want the darkness to be focused around my lash line and on the outer edge of that wave. So this is just going to be a buffing process, and I may actually switch to a smaller brush because I'm kind of scared. I'm scared that I'm gonna mess this up. Basically what I wanna do is, if you can see here when I close my eyes, that area where I drew just above my natural socket, I want that to have a little bit of a dark blue to it. So I'm grabbing my E36 and dipping into that beautiful blue on the Addicted to Pretty palette. It is called After Party. And I believe they have actually replaced this with a new dark blue shade. I'm just going to fill this in and blend it into that kind of colory thing that I got going on there. Sorry, I'm not breathing. That's why my voice sounds so like raspy. I'm like, with that thing I've got just there. And just buffing that very, very, very gently in. We have a nice dark blue starting to form with a light blue in the middle, and I love color switches like that. I really love it. Love it, love it. So it's a really cool way to get all the colors on your eye. I am missing red, but I figured that that little flame point, you know, it's as good as red. So I'm going to continue kind of amping up the intensity of that blue, and then we're going to do the crazy part, put on some lashes, and strut out with this look. All of the colors have been super amped up and intensified, and it's now time for the fun part of this. Also, I want to note, I took my veneers off. They were starting to cause a little bit of a problem just with my bite, and it was everything, so I have my normal human imperfect teeth, and I'm actually happy about them. I am gonna work on getting them to be a little bit whiter, but otherwise I'm happy. So I have Kat Von D's Everlasting Glimmer lipstick in Wizards, and I just need a nice brush that will put things on for me and be very sweet about it and very easy to control. That's the most important part. So I want something that's kind of flat like this. I have a Morphe one as well, but it is not clean, unfortunately. So I'm going to take the applicator. I never want something that goes on my mouth to go on my eyes. So instead of actually touching the doe foot applicator, I'm gonna get my product from the body of it, from around here, because this is an actual lipstick that I like to wear on my lips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pat that into that shape to add a little bit of glimmer, just like the name implies. I don't need to use a whole lot. There can be holes in my application because, well, the rest of it's black, and it is a black lipstick. So this is just going to add that slight little bit of allure that I just can't live without. I love it. So I'm just patting that in, shaping that tail a little bit better. This brush gives me a little bit more control to make that kind of shape. And it's brighter on this side just because the light's hitting it better on that side, but just to be sure, I'm gonna add a little bit more on this side. All right, they are nice and even. There's a nice slick going on. It is blended. I am very, very happy with it. So let's finish this look off. So I want to show you what I mean about the Alchemist palette being a true transformer palette, because this is what's going to give that look just that more punch. The time I did it before in the photo, I used the purple on the inner corner and kind of just, you know, patted it all in and used a lipstick. This time I wanted to use the blue so that I could show off the 4 colors. There is an opal, which is more of a pink, there is a green, there is an ultraviolet, and a blue. So the ultraviolet, sapphire, emerald, and opal. So we are going to take sapphire because it is analogous to the blue. I rub my finger in it and that's what it looks like. It has a lovely blue sheen, and I'm going to use my finger. You can use a brush. I like to use my finger to apply that all over that little shape that I created, and I will blend it out with a brush so that it's a little bit more even. And there goes that. All of a sudden it went from pretty kickin' blue to like some out of this world, beam me up Scotty kind of stuff. Now again, I'm going to take the Alchemist palette and I want to amp up this warm tone that I have up here. To do that, I am going to use, I'm going to use the opal color, and I used my little finger cleaner thing, so I'm just going to rub that over it and it'll give just the slightest little bit of highlight. Now for the outer edge, the purple, I want to use the ultraviolet again with my finger, and that's what that one looks like, and just gonna transform that ever so slightly. I still want it to be nice and stark though. All right, and for the inner corner, because my inner corners are a kind of greeny yellow blend, I'm going to use emerald. I'm gonna get a really nice coating of it and pop that on the inner corner. And voila, what dark circles. I am an alien. I'm gonna blend this out and then put some lashes on, some lipstick, and then we're done. To blend all of these Alchemist colors, I am using a clean, brand new actually, 506, and literally the smallest amount of pressure you have ever seen. And I just wanna kind of coat the entire edge. It's okay if they mix. That'll just add that much more to the little look. I love this little alien moment that's going on my inner corner, so I'm not gonna tamper with that too much. I'm just gonna tame it down a little bit, and then you'll see me in a second. And bam, there we have it, lights, camera, lashes. Although I had to think really hard about whether I wanted to put false lashes on, and I decided I didn't. I just used a little bit of Kush mascara from Milk, and this is my out of this world, crazy surfer, multi-dimensional, graphic liner tutorial, which I can't believe I actually was able to do on film. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay tuned. I will be announcing the newest giveaway very soon. To those who won, congratulations. To all my other followers, I love you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you next time.